Hello, everybody, and welcome to For the Fans. Tonight, we are here to talk about the latest episode of Survivor, where Kylie's winner pick went home. Kevin, how are you doing?
I am doing very, very well, man. I'm watching Hunter out there doing what he does, but also watching this group of people not miss their shot. The shot's there, you got to take it. I'm impressed with both the show and the way it's being edited that I have no real idea who wins this thing.
I think you're absolutely right. I can probably make an argument for everybody to win except for Venus
and Q.
Yeah, Venus and Q. You're right.
They seem to have lost favor for Q after the antics.
And at this point, probably Maria. Not because I don't think she's playing a good game, but because we just don't know anything about her, and they're giving everything to Charlie.
Yeah.
Anyways,
before we get into the four, to touch on exactly what you just said, Venus and Q based on what the players are saying in the game, Maria based on the edit.
Yeah. Although, I could see a world where Maria does end up winning.
Yeah.
If the reason she wins is the Charlie vote out, and that becomes the thing that seals the deal.
And I can see something like that, but in terms of what these guys are saying, Venus and Q are not winning this game.
But then again, imagine Venus and Q are there with Ben. I don't know who wins.
I think they give it to Ben at that point, and they don't I don't think they love it, but I think they give it to Ben because of Q's antics. They don't like that. Yeah. Q would have to turn them way around, and then for Venus, no one has respected Venus the moment she's gotten on the beach.
But is that not a reason to respect her? The fact that she was hated by everybody, disrespect, and then she got all the way to the in that world, maybe I could see a rationale, but. Because I think the argument is, what did Ben do in that situation? And up till now, I actually don't know what he's really done.
I have no idea what Ben's done. Yeah,
except to rock on.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're here tonight. Kylie's away on vacation. She just landed in the state of Washington and coming to Canada in a few days, which is really exciting.
She's coming to collect from Sheldon as well.
The first time Kylie has ever crossed the American border in her life, which is really exciting.
Like I did. You have to go to Sheldon to collect from 3 seasons ago. Big Brother Canada 10. You have to go to Canada to go collect from Sheldon.
And I didn't give it to you. But didn't I win something and it's over? Aren't we fair and square?
I don't know for square. But
you want $10 or what? What do I
10 Canadian. But
oh God, not the exchange rate. Anyways, let's get into it. We're going to get into our top 4, and today we're starting off exactly where we left off last week, and that's questioning. This is part 2, where everybody on the Stride comes back to Tribal. It's an absolute disaster. Nobody understands what Q has done, why he has done it, and the fallout of this was beautiful. Kevin, what do you think?
It was watching. First off, per usual, we need to apologize to Tiffany because we were way wrong about how things were going to go. We were mistaken thoroughly. And she is playing such a good game, and she goes right at him and is like, why did you tell him about my idol? What was the reason that you thought this was a good idea? Yeah. And he has some cockamamie story, but he's mad at Charlie for spilling the beans.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
I have to say, look, I don't even want to talk as much about Q because he doesn't make any sense. There is no logical manner to explain anything that he has done up to this point. I will say I have, not just because I'm watching her and I really like her as a human, I love how blunt and to everybody's face, Tiffany is playing this game. She you know that when they told Banu you could lie at Tribal, I don't think she lies at Tribal. I think she's completely, totally telling the truth every single time. And it's so refreshing. And it probably makes the game a lot easier to play if you don't lie to people. It's wonderful.
It's funny because Tiffany can just be blunt and to your face, and it is what it is. But she does lie for the game. Yes. She has no problem lying for the game. I'm sure she probably has no problem lying in real life either, but she has no problem lying for the game. But in this situation, she's like, we were working together. I was listening to Hunter's exit interview.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, he was trying to work with Tiffany and Kenzie. He was talking about all that. Outside of that, though, he said, I was trusting people that were trying to turn me against my own alliance. Like, as you saw, Q comes to us with this information that his number one person told him in confidence. And that's exactly what I was saying last week. The fact that she thought she could be open and honest about what's going on should have never turned this man against her.
Now, I must say, I also got a little bit of a sense of this is a brother-sister fight. They've been together for, I guess, 18 days, 16 days, however many days at this point. They're extremely close. They have been to the front lines together in this game. They truly have. And it did seem like why the hell? Why? And I did get the sense of that. And that made me a little tense. I was like, please don't go back to him. I know he might be your brother.
No, she's like, I hate you.
I was actually worried that it would turn into I'm going to welcome him back.
Oh, and no. I never felt that. I never felt. The reason I didn't feel that is because based on the way, okay, I know we haven't said his name in a while, and that's been on purpose. Think back to when Banu was there, right? Yeah. The way that Tiffany handled not just Banu, but handled the tribal councils. She was not going back. And it's because she has a very, very good head on her shoulders. She's like, why did you do this? This was dumb. I cannot trust you. This was unimportant. You should have never said this.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dog. Basically, fuck you. Like that's it.
Well, it's even more than that. It's a real true sort of punch in the gut to Tiffany, because I don't actually think Tiffany, it's not that Tiffany wouldn't get rid of Q in this game. I think we've seen evidence that she would.
Yeah,
in conversations with Kenzie. But I don't think it makes sense that he would turn on her yet, or she would turn on him yet. And I actually think that's where her anger comes from. She says stupid, and she says it like that. And it's true. It's just so, okay, fine. You want to do something like this? Do it for a smart reason that helps your game. But she was basically, you're not just stupid and you ruined my game. You're stupid and you completely ruined your own game.
Correct.
So what the hell is wrong with you? I think Ron is right. Q's Banu switch flipped when we hit merge. This guy turned into Banu, uncontrollable, emotional.
It's so funny, man. It's so funny, Sheldon, because we were sitting there and we were talking about we've talked about for many seasons, should you tell anybody about getting an idol? I have always been about using it to create bonds.
Particularly in the beginning of the game.
And it did. It created this bond.
Absolutely.
Tiffany didn't go around telling everybody. She told her two closest allies there. Kenzie has it to use when she needs to.
Yep.
There's no reason Q should have brought this up when he did.
Well,
none whatsoever.
Well, the rationale for Q in his mind, and look, I guess it's some rationale is that, well, she's going against the 6. He just misprioritized the strength of the 6 and who he should actually be have his allegiance to. So, I think he made a strategic decision. Was there some thought behind that? I guess there was rationale, but it was stupid rationale.
It was dumb rationale, because Maria should not be higher than Tiffany in the
No, Maria isn't even in the 6. I don't know when did she get there. Who cares about Maria?
if you're going to go against someone in the 6, if we're talking about a person in the 6, we're talking about Hunter. Hunter being higher than Tiffany, I get.
Yes.
That is the only one. Of the 6 at the time, if she was saying I'm going for Hunter, I get it. She said Maria. Like you said, when did Maria get here?
I don't understand.
Don says it right here. He needed to get rid of the 6, and he couldn't. And that's the biggest deal. Because by him being so stuck on the 6, he says this, but you idiot, by you putting this out there and it being known by everyone, and then getting back to her, you can't be trusted anymore. Your game is essentially over.
Yeah, I don't know. This sort of felt like the Power Rangers, where every season of the Power Rangers, when we were kids, Kev, they used to like keep one character, and then somebody else kept on being recast as the Red Ranger, and then the Blue Ranger, and it's just like, now I don't care about this group of 5 anymore.
Correct.
I want my core group. And why didn't he stick to his core group? He picked Charlie, who joined less than 24 hours before that, to the set over her. What? What?
So Q ends up being just the black sheep throughout the episode. It's here. It's when they decide to pick teams. They're like, not with Q. Who doesn't want to be with Q? Everyone raises their hand. Venus goes, oh, and they're like, we don't want to be with you either. So you're with Q, and Liz, sorry, we don't want to be with you either. So you can go over there as well.
So one of the other aftermaths of this crazy Q tribal, which I have to say, I've been loving Liz more and more as we see her more on screen, not because I actually like her or I like her as a player, but again, the lunacy. She was like crying because she didn't get the center of attention, and Q is now the person people are talking to and thinking about and angry at. Does she not know that she just pulled off a wonderful thing? And you know what? It's good that she doesn't get credit now. Sell yourself at the end.
So it's hard. It's hard, Sheldon. Because if you don't get credit and you only get blame, or not blame, if you don't get any credit, she's trying to make resume moves. But Sheldon, you ever been at a job and you've done a lot of the work, but someone else keeps getting the ribbons and the praise? That's how Liz feels right this moment. She's like, I got out soda. And then Tevin's like, look what I did. And he's like, okay, then Tevin has to go. And then finally, they'll recognize all the things I've done. Tevin goes. Q does the things. I got out Tevin, guys. Anyone? No, the tribal was crazy. Darn it. When do I get credit for the things I have done?
But don't you want that? This Survivor is this fine balance of, yes, you need to actually have a resume in order to win the game. But can't you actually build the resume and thoughtfully build your case at the final tribal? Or is that really too late?
And that's what's tough, right? Is because where does the balance come? Where does the balance come? Because I can't be too big of a threat, but I got to show that I did some stuff. Venus, there's no, as we started off the show with, Venus will not win this game because no one gives her any credit for what she's done, which is not really much. And even if she can go and spin things, they're going to feel like she's spinning, whether it's true. Prime example, Michelle Fitzgerald, one co-wrong. Aubrey Bracco did all the things for Aubrey Bracco to win co-wrong.
Correct.
Michelle Fitzgerald gets the credit. Kyle Jason, Scott Pollard, watching the season, tweeted, we messed up. Aubrey should have won this game. Because no one respected what Aubrey Bracco was doing in season. And that's what's tough, because you're 100% correct. I can't get enough credit to seem like too big of a threat, but I need to get enough credit to get some respect.
Isn't it the job of a really good communicator, though, to be able to sell that story at the very end? Because it's not that she wouldn't actually be selling a bill of goods. Like, she is truly responsible for Tevin. It was her move. I don't think she's truly responsible for Soda, but she can at least claim the fact that some of the seeds were planted by her. Like there are things, and her game's not over. And if you come to Tribal and you have that story to share, like, can't you do it? Can't you actually build it? I think you're right. It's hard, but I don't know. The melodramatic music came on, and I'm like, come on, Jeffrey.
I get it. Liz just wants them to put some damn respect on her name. That's all she cares about. Put some respect on Mama Liz's name. I found out she's a mom, by the way. That was an interesting fact.
She's a mom?
Yeah, she said that she for her kid. Yeah, didn't expect that. But
she's probably the best mom there is.
Probably.
She gets all the mom.
Don once again dropping gems in the chat. Don says communication is one thing, likability is another. And they have to like you as well. She's right. But like Tevin gets the credit for Soda, whether he deserves it or not, because he's just so damn likable.
Are there any unlikable players that have won Survivor?
Brian Heidick.
Okay. Is that really one in 45
I think so. Mike Holloway is not super likable, but Mike Holloway won every individual immunity. Like, I mean, Ben Driebergen's another one that's like meh. Yeah. But Ben has his fans. He has his fans out there, and out there on the island, he had his fans too. I mean, let's look at Gabler, right? Gabler was super likable amongst that cast. It seemed that Owen and Cassidy weren't as likable. Gabler, from my estimation, didn't do a lot, but he won. Don in the chat, Richard Hatch. I mean, Sue hated Kelly more though. So
the snakes will come out
and eat the rats.
I've always thought. I must say, I've always thought that Sandra is extremely unlikable until I saw the latest season of The Traitors, where I think I finally understood that she's actually is likable. She is very
people love SCT.
And I never, like, on TV, maybe I just don't get her, and that's not a person I hang out with. Like I don't think I get the Sandra Diaz thing, and I don't think I would actually be able to get along with her too much. But I now get it after the fact.
I think SCT is just real. Sandra is just real, and the people that are real, no matter their likability is a different kind of likability, because you think that they're brash or that they're a little crass, but in reality, it's just they're telling you the truth without a filter, and it is endearing because you're like, okay, I get it. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You know what I'm saying?
Let's move on to the challenge where we really get into this triple trio of triumph. They got tree mail, the entire tribe, and they were asked to divide into 3 groups of 3. You sort of alluded to it, Kevin, but how they actually came to the decisions of who's going to be with who was really quite interesting, because it was a clear anybody but him. Anybody but that Q. And then, you know, I think my favorite part about this was the dynamics of how it worked out. Who were the 3 last?
It was actually funnier because it was like anybody but Q, and then Venus like,
and then Venus
is like, great, like, you neither. Like, that is it.
And then Liz.
Yeah,
but like that wasn't a shocker, and it is also not a shock that we had 2 duos in the other groups. We had Kenzie and Tiff, and we had Charlie and Maria. So it wasn't as random as I thought. As you know, they sort of talked about it in Tribal Council, but just not Venus or Q. Please,
I think the randomness though comes in play when Ben says, Tiff, you want to rock on?
Yeah.
And she's like, sure. Okay. I mean, you asked first. You asked me out first, so I said, yeah. And Kendi said, don't forget me. I'm coming too. And they're like, cool. That's 2. And then Charlie looks at Maria and says, us? And then Hunter's like, what about me?
Let's go.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Then Venus looks around and is like, I would also not like to be with Q. And they're like, that's too bad. That is it's unfortunate for you.
And I have to say, we get to the actual challenge.
Before the challenge, Q is 100% right. You can directly affect if Hunter can win this challenge. You might want to consider throwing this thing. I think that was the right thing to say because Hunter is dominating these challenges. None of us know about his idol, but this gives us the best chance to take this man out right here. And mind you, they still get it, but that's like we need to increase the odds.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with you from a strategic point of view. So, yay, +1 for Q. But it's the right thing to be said out of the wrong mouth because they don't give a shit. It doesn't matter what. Q could give you a diamond ring. You're not getting engaged to him. He could give you a 17-karat diamond ring. No, thank you. It's done.
It's so interesting because Q did not realize how much cachet he lost with his antics. Yeah. He did not realize that he is now bankrupt in terms of cachet.
I don't know 100% if I completely agree with that in the sense that nobody could give up, right? So he's got to try. But I did sense a little bit of a freer Q in all of the confessionals in that episode, where he even said, "Yeah, well, I guess I'm alone and nobody's with me. Fine, let me play crazy." Like he's like, there is a little bit of freedom, and so yeah, let me throw something at the wall and try it out. I don't know what the right move for Q is though in this game at this point, outside of actually doubling down on the people who he truly cares about and trying to help them, because and I think that's the only way Q has any road.
This is true. This is
the salvation, any rejuvenation of any type, because it's the only way he could say, okay, you know what? I screwed up. I realized I screwed up and I knew I couldn't win. And so here I am right now. I'm going to try to give my game away for people who I like and I'm loyal to, and I'll do my best. And I believe that would be the only move Q could make in this game to give him any ability to get to the end and actually maybe have a teeny weeny chance of winning. Because I don't think he can win right now, right?
Right. But that's the thing, though. When I say he's giving a ball, it's cachet, right? As you know, Sheldon, I'm a big believer in social currency. Mm-hmm. And in order to have social currency, people have to believe in you and trust you. And as we sat here and watched, they no longer believe in him. They no longer, and it's everything to do with the antics last night. Everything to do with that. Before that, you were trying to get your way and make things happen. Understandable. But the moment you were playing around in my face in those games yesterday, it's over. It's been over for you now. So you're right. He goes up and he's like, you guys should throw this thing. And Charlie's like, I don't want to do anything that's your idea.
Is it because it didn't work? Or because I could see a Russell Hantz trying to pull crazy antics like that, and it did work for him multiple times, not ultimately at the very end. Like, are we at a place in Survivor where crazy no longer works? And you know how I mean by crazy.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work anymore because these players are better. Yeah. They're better and they're more sophisticated, and they've seen what's going on. I mean, this episode we see. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more. We see Kinsey say, Tiffany's my best friend. She needs to go home. Yeah. We see Hunter saying, Tevin needed to go because he could beat me in this game. Hunter said that in one of his exit interviews. They asked him, did you think about using your idol to save Tevin? He said, not for a second. They said, that's surprising. And he said, Tevin could beat me in the game. So I couldn't save him. I just couldn't do it. And these guys are way more savvy. So someone coming in here and being chaotic saying, I want to quit, go home. You don't really want to quit? Then why'd you waste my time? That is
but I don't think that's exactly what they were actually upset about. I think that they were upset at the tribal council about the impact his quitting has on all of their individual games and their individual plans at that tribal.
Oh, that was huge. The way Charlie was like, the way Charlie was like, you saying I'm going to leave so you could now start playing is a slap in the face.
Yeah.
We've been playing. We've all been playing.
Yeah.
The entire group of us. And so for you to think that you are the one dictating what's going on here, it's ridiculous. So when we get to the actual challenge, I thought, Charlie, you should probably consider throwing this thing. Instead, he goes hard. And I'm like, this is probably a bad idea.
I don't know. We'll talk about it in a second, but I want to bring up one of the strangest things Jeff Probst has ever done. Jeff Probst looks at these three groups and says, Q, Venus, Liz, let's just say what everyone at home is thinking. You are gonna be out first. What the hell? What was that?
I mean, he was trying to channel the people. Did you think that they were gonna be out first?
I absolutely thought they would be out first.
Really?
But, yeah, I did. But I do not think it's Jeff Probst's place to be color commentator. His job is to be host.
No, Sheldon.
Yes.
His job is to be the voice of the people. He's there hanging out. He's having a good time. He's vibing. He looks at them and says, hey, I think the people think this dysfunctional group will be out first. I didn't think they'd be out first. I thought Tiffany and them would be out first, to be honest. I don't think Kenzie's very good at challenges.
As witnessed when she kept on dropping her ball.
Correct. I don't think Ben's that good at challenges either, so I thought that they would be out first. But Jeff being the voice of the people, not a problem for me.
The voice of he's not my voice.
You just said that he said what you were thinking.
That doesn't mean he always is my voice. I might vote for somebody, but I don't always agree with everything they say.
He said, I'm channeling the people right here.
He wasn't channeling me, although I was agreeing with him. But I don't know. I really leave your analysis out of the game. Host the fucking show. Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
Nah. I like it. Get a little spicy Jeff. He's here.
We have Spicy V is on BB Can. Spicy Jeff, get rid of him.
Spicy Jeff was named this episode.
I know. It's all about Jeff. That's my problem with the show. It's not about Jeff. Who cares about Jeff?
I care about Jeff.
Fuck Jeff. We got into this challenge, 3 stages. Every one of these stages, one group leaves. First stage was a nice little balancing beam where they had to go across a beam and then go across the beam holding a ball with 2 sticks. As you said, Kenzie was having some troubles. Kenzie,
bro, how there's holes and imprints for the ball. Why is Kenzie up here with the ball?
Well, the smartest strategy that I saw was actually Maria, who took the hole in the ball and leaned it up against her chest. Yes. So you have another point of friction. Like what? And not all of them were doing this. Do a pyramid. No, against your body. That seems like the logical way to do it.
That's the smart thing to do.
And then you go into round 2, where we see the final 2 groups, which are Hunter, Charlie, and Maria against Venus. Liz, as well as Q. They have to build these rope beams and try to rope bridge and try to cross. And easily Charlie, Hunter, and Maria kill it. Hunter is MacGyver, goes through it in a second, goes back and starts to help. It was Charlie. Not even Maria.
Imagine if this was where Charlie was planning to throw. Imagine if this was where he was planning to throw. He's like, I got you, dog. Let me come help.
So at this point, the other 3 are out. Charlie, Maria, and Hunter are on this endurance competition where they have to pick their hands up, lean up against the board, feet on a little ledge, and stay as long as they can.
Bro, at this point, did you just assume that he was done? That Charlie was done and Maria were done here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I thought this challenge, without a doubt. No doubt about it. Maria was out first, and then we had a really, really long 10-minute standoff between Charlie and Hunter. I probably shouldn't make fun of it because I wouldn't last more than 20 seconds.
Well, I think from what I heard on Jeff's podcast, they're making the challenges so that they can go a minimum amount of time, and they have a planned preferred long-term amount of time. So this is everything's fitting into the mold that they're looking for.
Look, Survivor is at season 46. It is a factory. Okay, yep. There's processes. They got a plan. They got to be at sleep by 6 p.m. Let's go. So this is certainly a factory. We see the showdown between Charlie and Hunter, and for the first time ever in this game, we see Hunter really struggling, and we see Charlie, on the other hand, cool, smiling, collected, probably in a hell of a pain, and we saw it after he won the immunity, how he came off in severe pain. But this was the first time we saw any weakness in Hunter.
So, Sheldon, the moment that Hunter's shifting, and he looks over and he gives Charlie a smile, that smile said everything Charlie needed to see.
It's over.
Because Charlie's looked back at him, he smiled back, and he knew. You could see Charlie was hurting, but in that moment, that's when he knew that he cut him, right? That he's cut and he's bleeding. He knew that in that moment. Because when you're like fighting them, you're think of two boxers, right? You're punching. This dude that is in front of you looks like he's untouchable. Then you hit him with a hook and you cut him under the eye. That's when you know, okay, this man bleeds just like me. And he ain't never bled before. Not in this kind of situation.
No, not in this game. And I will say he hasn't bled before strategically. He hasn't like it's been smooth sailing for Hunter up until this actual second.
Correct. And when that happens, Charlie dug deep and found something down there in that pit of his stomach. And he said, I'm going to die up here. That's it. Correct. You're going to have to kill me. And I was very impressed. But the moment that they looked over with the smile, that's when I was watching my TV and I said, there it is.
Yeah.
There he's digging in. That's it. It's over for Hunter. Hunter can be up there for 5 more hours. Charlie will be up there for 5 hours and 1 minute. Like it doesn't matter.
So at this point, Charlie's got his immunity. What did you think was about to happen? Who do you think they should have targeted? What should have happened?
Hunter, 100%. It's got to be Hunter here because Hunter, like I just said, this man bled today. But if he puts some gauze on it and he gets a Band-Aid, we may not see him bleed again.
So we go back to camp and we start seeing our idol paranoia. Let's start off with the Tiffany paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany basically says, you know what? I'm playing it. And this happened after Kenzie goes to the other side and says, look, this girl's got this idol. She's my best friend. As you said before, Kevin, she's got to go because she is dangerous as hell. What did you think about Kenzie doing this?
So Maria already has it in her mind that we need to take out
Tiff
because she said my name before. Okay, I understand that. So if that's the case, we need to be aware to try to go for her. Charlie, it's not good for Charlie, but he's like, Tiff is someone I want to work with, but Maria is my number one. So that's what we got to do is make her feel safe. Kenzie comes up and says, how do you feel about that idol? Maria says, anyone with an idol makes me nervous. She said, bet. We should make this move now. Now, this is what I'm talking about, Sheldon, in terms of how this game goes. Maria says, I like Kenzie's idea, but it was originally my idea. And no longer will I get credit for this move. And I'm loving the fact that everyone is trying to figure out what can I say I did.
Well, yeah, look, Survivor, it has truly become a resume building game. And, maybe it took a while to get here, but I think this really is the fallout of Aubrey Michelle. Like, the fact that there have been people that have gone that far, all the way to the end, and should have won, and did not win, is blasphemous to the game. Honestly, like, I'm sorry, Michelle should not have won that game. I get why she was there. I get why she came back and did a good job again on Winners at War. But that was Aubrey Bracco's game, and everybody is really hyper aware.
I disagree, though. Right?
Why?
I disagree because the right winner wins every time.
Sure.
Even with Gabler, right? And I'm the biggest Gabler hater.
Stan.
But no, I said hater.
Oh, Stan.
You missed it. I said hater. I hate that Gabler won that season.
Yeah,
but the hard part is that for each season, the right winner wins because that group of people decides who wins. Fine. And based on how this group has been playing, they want to see someone not necessarily making big moves, but making moves and being able to speak to them. Yeah. I.e. Tevin saying, I want to be the Verge blindside, Venus trying to take credit for the move, Liz being mad that everybody else is taking credit for her moves. This group of people have proven that is what's most important to them.
Fine.
That being said,
yeah,
that means the right person wins every time, but it may not be the person that's right to you or me.
Yes, exactly. That's 100%. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, the right person wins, they get the check, they move on with their life, and they enjoy it, right? That's just the way it is. But yeah, I still believe that Aubrey should have won the game based on what we saw on the television show.
Agreed.
I want to go back to my question because you sideswiped it. What do you think of Kenzie's?
You took credit. I took credit for your question.
What do you think of Kenzie's decision to actually try to make the move on Tiffany now? Does that make sense for Kenzie, or is it too early?
Kenzie's right because she can't beat Tiffany.
Okay. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
She can't beat Tiffany, and she thinks that Tiffany, we're running out of time to get her out with her idol in her pocket. And Tiffany, she's now aware that everyone knows that Tiffany is an idol, so she thinks that Tiffany's not going to use her idol. She obviously has not talked to Tiffany, where Tiff has been like, I hate this thing in my pocket. I want it gone.
Yeah. And I kind of do agree for your reason, but I'm going to add another side to it. She has created a strong bond with Ben. So I don't think she actually feels that she needs a number one in Tiffany anymore, particularly a number one in Tiffany who would beat her at the end versus a number one in Ben who would not. So
apparently she also created a strong bond with Hunter.
That's really interesting.
Hunter said in his exit press that there was the 6, but he never wanted to go with the other tribe, the non Kinsian tribe. Yeah. He didn't want to go. He wanted to go with Yanu. He wanted Yanu and him and Tevin and Liz to be like a different 6. So he intentionally got close to Kenzie. He told Kenzie about the 6. So she already knew about the 6. And they have been hanging out a lot that they just didn't show it on the show. So Kenzie has a strong relationship with Ben, the strong relationship with Hunter. I don't know if I necessarily need Tiffany anymore.
No, absolutely. And that's exactly why I think it is the absolute right move. But Kevin, could you talk a little bit about then the next thing where Charlie goes in and has a quick talk with Tiff and Tiff says, I'm actually going to use this thing because it's hurting me right now.
It's crazy, right? Because when we see them deciding that they're going to vote out Tiffany, because Kenzie comes in with the plan, and then Ben's there with the plan, along with Maria and Charlie. The fact that Charlie decides to go talk to Tiffany to make her feel comfortable is such an interesting decision by him. He decides this, and Maria's like, okay, I guess. But the moment he talks to her, she's like, this thing is burning a hole in my pocket because it's no longer a secret. And I respect that. Because by it no longer being a secret, it's too dangerous for me to have, i.e., that's why she's kind of on the clock for all these people. So Tiffany tells Charlie that I want to get rid of this thing immediately. And Charlie goes, well, that's an interesting situation.
Because we would like you not to get rid of it immediately. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We were planning on voting you out with it. So if you want to go ahead and hold on to that, that'd be appreciative. Yeah. So when she says that,
you get in your
and then she says it. Well, she said it again in front of Maria, unprompted. And they're like, okay. So new plan. Because she's playing this idol tonight. Like, there's no reason to not believe she's not playing this idol tonight.
Yep.
None whatsoever. And there's no point in also trying to put our votes still on her because we only have so many votes left. And if we know for a fact she's playing it, for all the reasons why I would play it.
Yep. I have to say, one of my favorite parts about this is that I don't think we have yet to see a true separation between Kenzie and Tiffany. I at least thought that they were completely and totally lockstep. And what this episode showed us is that they probably were not as lockstep as the edit wanted us to believe. Why? Because Kenzie went ahead and basically wanted to get rid of Tiff. And Tiffany didn't tell Kenzie that she's not planning on using it or planning on, like, it's like they almost never had a real discussion about this idol at all. And in fact, Tiffany played an extremely selfish, and I mean that in the best way possible, move here where she said, I'll say whatever I want to say because it's my idol and it's my life in this game, and I'll play it or play it not if I want to or not want to. So this was a really, really astute way of working with this idol. And I have to say, it goes in lockstep with, I think, what we talked about earlier on today, where, Kevin, you say at the beginning of the game, you tell people about your idol to create relationships. At the end of the game, you keep everything about that idol to yourself.
Unimportant. You don't worry about what I'm doing with this idol.
It's up to me. I'll decide.
You remember I have it. Just remember that I have it.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. So just so you know, I didn't lose it. Okay, I still got it. I don't know what I'm going to use it, but I still got it.
So it's time to go for another plan. And, we go up to Venus. And who does Venus say? Well, let's get rid of the rest.
We're doing Q, right?
We're doing Q. No, Hunter.
Venus wanted to do Q still.
And I love that, actually. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed at this guy.
We're still doing Q, right? From last night? No, baby. No, we're not doing Q. We're thinking about doing something different. And I mean, props to Hunter from peeping from around the corner that there was people discussing him.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he had sense enough not to walk up, but to hang back and realize that Ben, Charlie, and Maria, the Nami group. Oh, they're still Siga's still together. Siga's still together. Let's see them over there. So he spots him and says, okay, I'm not feeling great about this.
Right.
The sun's starting to set, which means it's about to be
tribal.
Why does this man now say, hey, listen, I have an idol and I'm going to use it. Let's try to vote out Ben. Let's just try to change the plan altogether.
Can we just talk about this? Because you're right. I think this was a strange move and he should have just used the idol, but fine. Besides the point. I think one of the things that I really believe is that we were sold a bill of goods about Hunter in this game, because the only thing that Hunter has been able to actually do in this game is win challenges. And when Q says, let's do a 6, he says, okay. He hasn't played the game at all. There is no strategic part of his game at this point. And the truth is, I was wrong, just like I was wrong about Tiffany. I was wrong about Hunter, because the second he knew he was in trouble, the look on his face said it all. It was over. He couldn't control himself. He couldn't control his emotions. He couldn't control his thoughts. Watching him, he was scared as hell. And it became so clear to me what an advantage, again, we've said this before, it is for Q, for Tiffany, and for Kenzie, that they've been to tribal so many times and they didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, on top of that, Q and Tiffany are game players. They're here to play a game. They understand their plan. And this is not taking anything from Maria and Charlie, who are also game players. Liz is a game player. What I'm saying is that those two are stone cold. They don't care what's going on in terms of like lying to somebody. Yeah. Charlie is, not Charlie, Hunter's sitting here trying to figure it out. The consternation on his face. He is trying to like create a line. Here's a tip. I know that we sometimes
give me the tip.
Well, I'm gonna give you the tip. I know that sometimes we have people that like watch that may one day go on the show. The hard part is that if you are a challenge beast, I cannot strategically align with you because I need you to go home. So if you are too strong in the challenges, thank you for getting me through the pre-merge.
Well, that's the thing. You need to strategically align for the first half of the game. You
Correct.
Need to say bye-bye.
And this is where we're at. And the reason this is important is because Hunter is trying to figure out how to build something here. And he is number one target right here. You have to be. So
let's go back a sec, because in that same vein, did Charlie make a mistake by now 2 times in a row going to the final 2 in the immunity challenges against Hunter? Because if and everybody's rationale for removing Hunter was that he is a challenge beast. If that rationale is true, isn't Hunter next to go? Isn't Charlie next to go?
No, because Charlie knows Taylor Swift, right? And the reason that's important, let me tell you why this is important. I know you rolled your eyes. Let me tell you why. He went down to the end twice, yes. But no one thinks that Charlie is a beast in these comps. They said, wow, Charlie, you got him today. You got him today. Because Charlie wasn't leading his group in the group challenges.
But he got them 2 weeks in a row, and it's starting to be slim pickings. And and I understand that rationale, but it does start to create a target. Just like I've been saying the last few weeks, that Hunter hanging off like a stripper on that pole and jumping for joy and stuff has also put a big target on him. So I'm not sure there's that big of a difference outside of the fact that it's far worse.
That it can be far worse, but I think so. Like, let's say go into this next group, right? Let's say go into this next challenge. If Charlie wins again, I'm with you 100%. It's like, wait a minute, we need to look at this guy right here.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's like you slayed the guy that we're looking for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's thank you for taking out Hunter in this one challenge so we can get him. Because Maria's also a beast, right? So it's like, you guys are strong. You guys are a good team.
Yeah.
But not enough to make me too concerned.
Now, we also see, as you mentioned, Hunter go up to them and say, I got an idol, I'm playing it. Good move or bad move?
Bad move at the time.
Yeah.
When Hunter gets back and he starts trying to figure out what's going on, and he knows that he is a name that's being floated out there, I would have taken my idol out right then and said, okay, so I would like to work with you guys. I have this idol. I have this idol right here. And they'll look at it and they'll be like, okay, they're like, so I know that I'm a very appetizing move today.
Yummy.
You're going to have to think about it for tomorrow, because I would love to work with you. I'm going to play this tonight, regardless. But let's build something from here.
Let me ask you another question. Would the best strategy have been Hunter needed to align with Tiffany as the two idol havers?
That's an idea too. That's pull her to the side and say, listen, I know you have your idol. Everybody knows you have your idol. I have one too. You can go tell everybody. Or we can figure out how we can both stay in here with these idols.
Yeah.
Because you're probably going to play yours tonight. So, of course, I'm playing mine tonight. Cool. I'm playing mine too. So then what can we do after that? Because two idols might be re-hidden.
Good point, actually. I didn't actually think that Hunter's idol is going back in, probably.
Yeah. So two idols might be re-hidden. So we're going to get the jump on these people. We got to figure something out together. That's a good move too. But his panic has him saying it as the sun's going down, which at that point is kind of just too late.
Well, was it too late? And the reason I ask is, as we go into our tribal and we have a vote, we have a revote, that vote, split pretty nicely. And they seem to have enough time to get a perfect split going into place.
No.
Do you think that was an accident?
100%.
You don't think that was pre-planned, eh?
Ben, Maria, Charlie, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Always voting Hunter, still voted Hunter. Kenzie, Venus, who's on the outside, Liz, who's on the outside, and Hunter voted Q.
Yeah.
His plan was to vote Ben, remember?
Yeah.
But then he finds out everybody's voting Q. Kenzie's like, dude, everyone's voting Q. Like, relax. Everyone's voting Q. Relax. That seems to be what's going on here. Tiffany, stone cold fox. Bro, I'm voting Q. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here? I'm voting Q.
Rightfully so. She's the best.
The vote comes out. The people that always plan on voting Hunter voted Hunter.
Yeah.
If the only person that could have also been on that split was Kenzie. Because Venus didn't know what the plan was. They did not tell Liz intentionally. They did not tell Q intentionally.
Yeah.
Q still voted Ben.
Holy mother.
So I think obviously Hunter should have played his idol, not for not being result oriented. He should have played his idol regardless.
Yeah.
100%. Because of the situation he was in.
Yep. You cannot be the biggest threat in the game. Show everybody you're the biggest challenge threat in the game, and then the second you're free, not play your idol. No. Especially
when you hear your name going around on the beach.
Yep.
And at the tribal when you thought Q was with you, and they call Q out for floating your name.
So we start off this tribal with a barrage on Q. Blame Q. Everybody hates Q. It was one of the most interesting things. And you see Jeff, because it's the Jeff show, take out his popcorn and his cushion and want to watch.
I loved it. He should have had a cushion on that thing.
He's the only one that should have.
I don't know why he didn't have a cushion all the time. Man should have been. He's out there for hours. I thought it was nice of him to give everybody popcorn. Do you know what I really think happened? Okay, so on Fire, he said that they wanted to put a popcorn machine because it was such like cinema, yada yada yada. I think what legitimately happened is that one of the doctors was like, Liz has not eaten anything in 72 hours.
So let's give her 2 kernels.
Which I'm sure they were like, she has to eat something. And so they don't have rice. And they did not get the rice, which was originally the plan for her to eat something. She doesn't have the rice. She's eaten nothing. No fish because she's allergic. No coconut. She's allergic. She's eaten nothing. We have to get her some kind of food.
What do you mean? But 2 kernels of popcorn? That's not food. Like that doesn't do anything.
She might have had more popcorn than that.
You think they did?
They wanted to get a popcorn machine out there originally. That's what Jeff said. So I'm sure on their way back,
It's also a little bit insane that Liz is on this island. I'm sorry. Like, if she can't eat food, she can't be on this island. Like, that's craziness.
She knew what she was going on, and she said, "We don't change anything because you have allergies. You also can't let a person die." So.
Well, look, they're also getting weighed and measured and blood pressure and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're monitoring her. But and look, she's doing okay on challenges. She's fine.
They didn't say it, but I would presume on their way out, they gave her a bag of popcorn. That's what I would presume. They gave
her a bag of popcorn. They gave everybody a bag of popcorn.
Gave everybody a bag of popcorn, but they knew that they as a group of human individuals knew that it's very important for Liz to eat.
And is this a guess, or is this based on something you heard on the podcast?
This is a guess.
Oh, well, that's bullshit then. Sorry. I don't. Maybe they don't get if the woman hasn't eaten in 18 days or whatever. Why do they care now?
No. She's eaten at the reward road. She literally hasn't eaten anything in 72 hours at this point.
Okay, go eat a coconut and get some hives. Okay.
No. I mean, it could kill her, Sheldon.
Yeah, we don't need her. Just joking.
Love
Liz.
Dark.
Love Liz. No, I hope she's okay now. Oh my God, if she gets killed here, holy shit, I'll be so sad.
So let's talk about this revote though, because the vote comes out and it's 4-4-1.
4-4-1. And look, they did exactly what they needed to do. You have a chance to get rid of Hunter. The idiot didn't play his idol like he should have.
He's dead in the water. He's dead in the water. The moment that the vote comes out, the idol doesn't. He has the idol in his pocket.
Yep.
And then Tiffany doesn't move. And I'm like, Fox, she's stone cold. Knows that it's not going to be her today. That me saying I'm going to play the idol was enough. And right here, Dawn in the chat, Dawn always got the wisdom. Dawn says she did not think for a second that Tiffany was going to play this idol. But she doesn't get why Hunter didn't play his, and I don't either. Because he thought that if Tiffany plays hers, I play mine.
I don't actually buy that Tiffany didn't think that she would play her idol. I think that for Tiff, the game is about intelligence and guts. And a gut feeling, I mean, specifically. Mm-hmm. I think she just has a really good read on the game and on the players. And she knew she didn't need to play the idol, so she didn't.
I agree. I'm so thoroughly impressed. Once again, Tiffany, me and Sheldon were way wrong about your gameplay. You were a fantastic player.
So let's get down to our winner picks. Kevin, your brand new winner pick is?
Still Tiffany.
And how do you think in this episode?
Great episode. She's on the back foot a little bit.
Yep,
that is definitely happening. So it is something that we need to watch out for. But otherwise, she's gonna have to play the idol next time. She has to play the idol next time, or win immunity, one or the other. She will be at the next.
She can. She is not. She is very skilled. So that wouldn't be a shock.
So she either needs to win immunity or play the idol. Either way, I think if once she plays the idol, then her threat level might go down a little bit.
Who is Tiff aligned with now, or is she alone?
She's probably still aligned tangentially with Kenzie. She's aligned with Charlie a little bit. That's why Charlie felt like he didn't talk to her, and probably Maria.
The same people who were ready to get rid of her.
Well, I mean, they were ready to get rid of her because she was coming for them. But who else does she have? Ben? Maybe a little bit with Ben.
Well, I wonder if Tiff's actual only way to the end now is trying to become besties with Venus and Liz. And
no, I think Tiffany can beat Kenzie.
I think Tiffany beats Kenzie, but I don't think Kenzie brings Tiffany. I don't fundamentally see after what just happened and her actually trying to put Tiffany out, that's an actual doable thing. So I do really wonder if Venus, Liz, and actually bringing Q back in might be the only option Tiff has.
Not possibly. Here's a question for you. Okay, how did Kenzie do this episode?
Well, again, I think she's doing good. Like she has been really getting a pretty freaking good edit. Like there's been zero wrong with anything that Kenzie has done, aside from the beginning of the game where she was playing too hard, and I believe she's fixed that. So truth be told, I think she did good. She already had a really strong bond with Ben, and I think she solidified a strong bond with Charlie and with Maria. by truly basically starting to say, look, I'm willing to go against her because she's a big threat. Yeah, I want to play with her. My only concern with that is she's putting a lot of hope into a Siga 3 that also loves each other and we're dancing with each other at the start of the game. And I do wonder if she is potentially strategically placing herself at the bottom of the 3, hoping that if people go for the Siga 3 and Kenzie, if that ends up being a thing, she's not the first target. Charlie's the first target. Maria's the first target. So I actually think she is placing herself within this game in some really interesting places. I'm impressed by Kenzie.
Okay, so I mean, as we know, Kylie lost Hunter.
She did.
She said her new winner pick is Charlie. This is a great episode for Charlie. Yeah. This has been Charlie is the odds-on favorite. As we both know, Sheldon, I love to do a ranking.
Yeah.
I love to do a ranking.
Let me pull up the players so I can rank properly.
And in the chat, give me what your rankings is as least likely to win all the way to most likely to win. I love a ranking. Who is your bottom? Who is the least likely bottom of the totem pole?
So, Kevin, here are your 8, and I want you to go first because you made me go first last time.
Okay.
Venus, Tiffany, Q, Maria, Liz, Kenzie, Charlie, and Ben.
Okay, easy. So, as of this episode, I think Venus is the least likely to win. Venus is at the bottom. Yeah. Next, I have Q.
Yeah.
Right there, next. Above Q, I have Maria, and that's purely based on edit. Next, I have Liz.
Okay.
After that, I have... Actually, before Liz, I have Ben.
Yeah.
Then I have Liz. Then right above Liz, I have Kenzie. Then I have Tiffany. Then I have Charlie.
Okay.
So top down, Charlie, Tiffany, Kenzie. That's the top 3 likely to win. Charlie, Tiffany, Kenzie, Liz, Ben, Maria, Q, Venus.
So I agree with your list minus the top 3.
What are you talking?
I would change that order. I actually think that for me, Kenzie has moved. My winner pick has moved to the first place to me at this point.
Okay.
Followed by Tiffany, followed by Charlie.
Kenzie, Tiffany, Charlie, Liz,
Ben,
Maria, Q, Venus.
And the reason for that is, as I said, I think Liz is far better positioned, right? Mm-hmm. Kenzie is far better positioned in this game, not to be targeted and potentially being able to say, yeah, well, I was a part of this vote and I was a part of that vote and I did this and I did that. So, and she's extremely likable, as we talked about earlier on in this game. I still love Tiff, but I'm a little bit afraid that her only move that she has left, because she's a little bit stranded, is playing her idol well on herself next time. And I don't know what happens after that. And the only reason why I've probably moved Charlie from first to third is I am very concerned that he has made himself a bigger threat than he needs to be.
That's fair. In the chat, Dawn says that Charlie's got a chance. He'll get Maria before she gets him, which I do believe. I do think that's probably going to happen. The final 4 she thinks will be Tiffany, Charlie, Kenzie, and a Liz Venus person, one of them, because she thinks they're pretty interchangeable. I think they are kind of interchangeable, but at the same time, I think Liz is much more dangerous for the people's game, if you will, than Venus is, because Liz can speak to things that she has done.
And she gets shit done. She actually has, right? She's not a non-threat.
Yeah. If Tiffany or Kenzie make it to the end, and anyone from the Yanu 3 make it there to the end, props to them. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with Banu. You got to deal with Q all the season. Man, it would be props to you guys for making it to where you guys had to get to.
And I have to say that I'm sort of starting to question if my number 1 and 2 should be interchanged between Tiffany and Kenzie. And the only reason I would push that is that I wonder if Tiffany could actually reel back Q in, and she's in the end with Q and Venus. She wins this game. Like I think anybody who's in the end with Q and Venus wins this game. So maybe not Ben, depending. So I think that would be a beautiful 3 for Kenzie.
Yeah.
And for Tiffany, for that matter. I don't think Kenzie will be able to do it. I think Tiffany can.
We shall see. It's an interesting situation.
I must say that post Banu, it's been a fun game.
Man.
I've really enjoyed the season post the hell of Banu. There's been a lot of great strategy. Everybody's playing for themselves. They truly are playing for themselves. They're wacky. They're weird. They're self-indulgent. They're all type A personalities. This has been an interesting season. So thank you, Jeff Probst, even though I
got him. There we go. He knows what he's doing. They missed on Banu. I hit on everybody else.
So he didn't just miss on Banu. He missed bigly, as your former president says. He missed bigly. So, Kevin, what's going on with you? Are there any podcasts we should watch coming up?
Yeah, man. So, first and foremost, check out Justice for Dean Thomas, the Harry Potter podcast, where I talk with CJ and Shantae, and we talk about stuff from the Harry Potter world. We have just finished Book 2, Chamber of Secrets. We have just finished the first couple chapters of that. Check out that podcast, Justice for Dean Thomas. You can find that there. In addition, catch me on Sunday evening. I will be on with my buddy, Brandon Nelson.
The Brandon Nelson.
Damn. And we'll be recapping this most recent episode. He was a huge part of this most recent episode of the challenge. This guy. But he looks older now. But he will be recapping a big episode for him, and we'll also be talking about how he interacted last week as well. So catch us this Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
So this has been quite a wonderful day, and I don't want to say goodbye without bringing up our good friend. She left a few weeks ago, Moira. we miss you. For all of us outside the Survivor Trouble Council house, my name is Sheldon. For Kevin, have a very good night. Love you, Moira.
Good night.